On to the terrible events of recent days, the really appalling attack on the synagogue in Melbourne, now another anti-Semitic vandalism attack in Sydney's eastern suburbs in Wallara. It's appalling stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I've been casting my mind back on sort of these attacks. We saw them intermittently in the past, but this consistent, sustained attack on a community essentially because of their religion, because they're Jewish, it is absolutely appalling. And of course, leaders should be calling it out. And it's interesting to see the contrast, though, isn't it, between three leaders. So Chris Minns in New South Wales, Anthony Albanese and Jacinta Allan. I think that Chris Minns has shown the way in terms of being very strong about this. I note that he said that he rang the ambassador. Do we know if the Prime Minister has rung the ambassador? Because it's interesting that a state premier should pick up the phone, and you wonder whether or not the Prime Minister should.
Yes, well, and just to be there on the day, I know he's in Sydney anyway, the Prime Minister was in Perth, but that urgency, that sense of urgency is important in terms of the way the leadership is perceived as well.
For two reasons. One, to know that we're throwing our arms around the community and that we're trying our best to make sure that they feel safe as Australians. And the other is to send a really strong message that this is just unacceptable. Now, if they were attacking Catholics or if they were attacking mosques, same thing. You've got to be definitive about this. And whether it's the right take out of it or not, you get the sense of the fact that there's an equivocation inside the Labor Party on this issue because they are judging where votes lie at the next election, where the majority of votes lie, that they're playing to the Green seats and they're playing to those Western Suburbs seats in Sydney, where they think that the sentiment there might be different. Again, I don't know whether I can't look into people's hearts and tell you whether or not that's what they're thinking, but do electoral considerations come into play? And if they do, of course, that would be outrageous.